Okay, I just wanted to make this quick video because I heard something that made me think about how to redo discoverability on YouTube. So my friend linked me a channel called Pirate Software, and this guy was going over how to be a game dev and just to make games. Like, his whole message was anyone can do it. You don't have to be good at anything. You don't have to have skills. You can just make games. It's really wholesome if you want to take a watch. I'll link the video in the description and the comments, but he mentioned something that I didn't know. So apparently, Steam gives every game, I think, 4 discoverability boosts. So how it works is you have 4 times that you can have, I think, 500,000 impressions on your game. So I'm not sure how that works exactly. I think it's impressions. So basically, when you use it, 500,000 people will see your game somewhere on the Steam store. So I'm assuming the general strat most people use is to use those discoverability boosts when a sale is happening or you put your game on sale. I don't know. I don't know what the best practices are. But I was thinking about this and I was like, why don't we do this for YouTube? Like, one of the hardest things in YouTube is discoverability. In my opinion, I still think YouTube is the easiest platform to get discovered on. If you, I wouldn't say make good content, but like if you make content that can gain traction and then really focus on the meta layer of content where you can increase your search results on the platform, then you can do pretty well. So that said, though, there's a lot of channels and there's a lot of difficulty on like how to get your content discovered, right? So here's my idea. I was thinking that every year, every channel can get like, I don't know, 4 discoverability boosts. And this is just my thinking. I don't know if this is practical. I don't know if it's gonna work. But, I'm just brainstorming because I think this will be beneficial to content creators as well as YouTube in the long run. So going back to what I was saying, I think if every channel was given 4 boosts, it doesn't have to be 4, but like a small number where when you use it, the number of impressions or even views on any video that you select will increase by, I don't know, let's say 500,000. I think that, 500,000 views, 500,000 views is a little too high compared to what even big YouTubers get. So it's probably gonna be a smaller number, like 100,000. But hear me out. I think that if it was made this way, that it would have a decent chance of working. So when you use the discoverability boost and you select a video and you're like, I want this video to get 100,000 impressions or even views, one thing that could happen is those views don't get counted on your channel. So this is essentially like advertising your content to people on YouTube. And because YouTube is pushing it, it won't count. So any ad revenue you have using that boost won't count. It won't count in the algorithm. So if people abuse that, then every channel will get a lot of views, right? So it wouldn't work really, and it wouldn't get counted on the overall video count, the view count on the video. So it's kind of a way to get more people to realize that you exist on YouTube. I think this would be great because I think this will help YouTube in the long run, in that they seem to be struggling with getting enough revenue. If y'all don't know, they have an ongoing war against Firefox and ad blockers. And I'm just like, look, man, I mean, it's your platform. You can do whatever you want. In my opinion, I didn't really think about this. It seemed like a scummy action that they were causing browsers with ad blockers to load the site slower. But there was a point brought up by Louis Rossman where I use Firefox and I use an ad blocker. I use uBlock Origin. And honestly, I am not a legitimate consumer of YouTube. Their service is YouTube. I'm not logging in to watch the videos. I'm not viewing the ads. Essentially, it's like I pirated a video game, and the video game doesn't work well for me because they have some anti-piracy measures. And I'm complaining about it and saying that they should fix it. I'm not a legitimate consumer. I'm not supporting them in the development of their product in any way. So I was like, oh yeah, you know what? As much as I'd hate to admit it, I think he's right. Now I think it's a crappy business practice to make your product worse for people who don't want to agree with what you're doing, but at the end of the day, we can use a different product, right? And that's the problem. The different products kind of suck. So YouTube is the best, and Anyways, that's a whole nother rabbit hole I can go down, but going back, I think it'll help YouTube because if there are more content creators being discovered and they're growing, then that means YouTube is going to make more money in the long run because more people are watching the videos. There's going to be more ad revenue made, and they don't have to fake ad impressions. Now, that's another thing. So YouTube has been faking ad impressions and ad views by putting them on other sites and just essentially like view botting their own ads. And they're lying to large corporations. So I think maybe they pulled out, and that's why they're scrambling to kind of disable ad blockers to get more ad views. YouTube, the answer is in front of you. If you look at channels from even 4 years ago, they're getting like 14 million views, whatever. The view count is huge. And now people are struggling to break 2 million. That's what I noticed. If you're breaking 2 million, your channel is really big. But even really big channels at the top 1% seem to be struggling to break 2 million views per video. And it's kind of weird because I saw channels that had like, 14 million views on a video 6 years ago. And now they're struggling to break 200,000 per video. And it could be the audience left, but I don't think it's that drastic of a change. I think the more plausible explanation is that YouTube is choking views to channels in the hopes that the content creator will pay for ads to increase exposure again. I think that's a really dumb move. And there's enough evidence out there to form a weak correlation, There's nothing to prove it 100%, of course, but anyways, going back to it, I was like, man, this discoverability boost idea might actually work and help the platform make more money. Because what happens is, again, it won't impact the algorithm. It won't impact the person's earnings. It's just free visibility. And if people like the content, then they'll stick around. And then you have a few chances every year to use that boost on a video. Now, if you make crappy content, or if your content isn't what people want to watch, then obviously they're not going to stick around and nothing happens, right? But if they do stick around, then you have grown your audience, and again, you'll make more money and YouTube will make more money. So I think that's kind of a strategy that I thought of for problem with discoverability, because if you make content, the number one problem is like, how do I get my content discovered? It's not about the quality of your content. I'm using that in air quotes because you can make trash and do well. But it's like, how do I get my content seen? So a lot of people use social media. They think of like clever ways to think outside the box to get their content seen. And yeah, I think this would be great. It's a built-in tool. I think it'll also eliminate botting. This is unfortunate, but one thing I learned, I was talking to a PR person, and a lot of people will view bot their content. The numbers are just fake. It's vastly inflated for any platform. So I think if you just give people a way to kind of expand their views, a little bit, I think it'll also encourage them to work harder. Now, there's a lot of issues that can come with this, obviously, but I think, people smarter than me that will figure it out. But yeah, it was just an idea. I thought I'd put it out there. All right, it's gonna be it. I'll catch you guys next time.